And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another... Oh my god. Welcome back to another broadcast. We just wrapped up with ESL Open Cup Americas, and now we are here with the finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. I did mention earlier, but this was an event that was showcased over on Sunday, was live on Sunday, but alas, we weren't able to conclude it. Our finalists, they were unfortunately unavailable, so we had to reschedule the finals, and we are here to determine who is going to be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Exclamation! Oh, actually, I don't have it set up in the chat. My apologies. But as we switch our scenes over, we can have a look at the bracket and the progression of our players here. Of course, a lot of these matches were casted live at the time. We followed Iba. It was Iba versus Rostock, into Nice, into Dimaga. And again, Nice, he had a really strong run. He was able to take down Iba in the second round, take down Dimaga in the semifinals to make it all the way to the grand finals. When it comes to Naxin, if I remember correctly, he had like over an hour-long series against Demi. He had a very long series against Demi, went all the way to the ace match. Naxin did come out on top, and then he got a walkover over Miyamaika. It was a shame. It was a shame. We big fans of Miyamaika here on this channel, and it would have been amazing to have seen Miyamaika face off against Naxin, but alas, was unavailable at the time. We did get a walkover, and Naxin was able to take down Honmono in a TvT. In quite a TvT at that. As a reminder, this tournament was played on the new patch and the new maps. This was our first Sparkling Tuna Cup on the new maps, so very exciting stuff, and on the new patch as well. So really cool to see our players showcase that, and yeah, we had a lot of big names. Honmono, Miyamaika, Go Joey was there as well, went to the ace match against Dimaga, Nice, Iba, Rostock, Mindel VK, Gref. So players from Southeast Asia and players from Europe were able to come together for this tournament, but in the end, the finalists are Nice and Naxin in a PvT. And I'm here to bear witness as to how this series does conclude. Again, Nice is coming in as the favorite player. He is the top of his region. He is the best in Taiwan. So it's going to be on Naxin to try to overcome that, to try to overpower that, and surpass Nice in this new patch. And it's possible that Naxin, he may have something new up his sleeve. You know, whether it's a new Cyclone or something else, you know, it's possible that maybe Nice is unfamiliar. I mean, a lot of players are unfamiliar with a lot of like the patch and the new play styles and everything that's been going on. So we'll see. We'll see what Naxin can bring to the table as we're getting into our series. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3, best of 5. So we have plenty of games ahead of us. And game 1, oh boy, this is crazy. We didn't get to cast this game today because it was vetoed. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. It was vetoed throughout the entirety of ESL Open Cup Americas. It is going to be Radhasit Station. Oh boy. Not like this, Bobby. Not like this. We're getting in. We're getting in. Oh, like, you're looking so pretty. What moisturizer do you use? Oh. I'm not gonna tell you what I put on my face. Aye. You're an animal. As we are loading into game number 1. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Radhasit Station, we have our Taiwanese Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Naxin. Is it Naxin? Is it Naxin? God, I've been saying it wrong all these years, I'm pretty sure. Regardless, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the best in Taiwan. We have the Taiwanese Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Here we go. Radhasit Station. An animal of a map. I'm curious to see what our players bring to the table. Fun fact, during this event, Nice did play on this map against Dimaga, and he was able to make full use of this. What I'm referring to, if you haven't seen this map before, is we have our natural, yes. As we pan over, we have a pocket base. We have a very easy to take third base with only 2 mineral patches blocking it, which means as a Protoss or as a Terran, even as a Zerg in a ZvZ matchup, you can wall off here at your natural and you can get a third base absolutely for free. And over the course of the weekend, we've seen quite a bit of sky toss on this map. I'm referring to PvZ mainly, again, Protoss versus Zerg, where you are able to actually rush into Tempest, and because of the positioning of this natural base, your mineral line is exposed to the elements. You know, there's no pants here at the mineral line, and you can be laid siege upon by this location, by Tempest specifically, and Tempest do one-shot workers, so we have seen this area abused. But in this matchup, I'll be honest, I haven't seen too much of PvT on Radisson Station. Even though the Protoss can take a fast third, so can a Terran, and a Terran can abuse this third base a little bit better as well with drop play, whether it's Widowmine drops or just drops in general. There is more of a back and forth. So in this matchup, I do think it's a little bit more, there's a little bit more, you know, again, back and forth potential here for the Protoss and Terran, but we'll see. On top of that, there's a goal base here. Also quite exposed out in the center of the map, covered by the Zolnaga, as there is a Zolnaga that does cover said gold. This fourth base as well is relatively easy to take, as we do have some choke points here covering this location, and Naxin is moving out with his SEV. Here we go. Looking like a proxy starport. The factory is about to finish up. With the completion of the factory, we can throw down a starport across the map, and there it is. The starport has been thrown down. Here we go. Again, back at home, nice working on that fast third. Back at home, Hellions are on the way. Okay, this could be one of two things. This could be a Hellion drop as we get medevacs and we can just drop into the main, or this could be a Liberator where Hellions threaten the natural base and Liberator goes into the main base as well. We have options. Behind this, Nice does opt to go for a Stargate opener. He's going to be going for Phoenixes. Phoenixes are on the way, as this is the beginnings of Phoenix Colossus for Nice, as again he's working towards that third. Meanwhile, behind this, we have our unit of choice. It is going to be the Starport, not the Liberator, so it's going to be a Hellion drop into the main. We'll see if we can pull this off. We'll see if this can go unscouted. Nice. He hasn't really been able to see too much. So far, he was denied entry into the main. Phoenix is moving out. And will the Phoenix come across the Hellions? Oh! Hellions, they will barely avoid the Phoenix. They have gone unscouted. And the Phoenix won't be able to see too much. Well, I mean, that's a plus side. The Phoenix will see the lack of starport. There's one factory, one Rax. Oh, the second Rax starts now. That is suspect. Where is that starport? It's not at home. It must be across the map. And there we go. Immediately, the Phoenixes are repositioning. Of course, Adepts are here in the natural. Phoenix is in the main. Drop steps in. Ooh, unscattered as well, and here we go. We get into the middle line. There is a shield battery, but Hellions, they don't care about your shield battery. 4 of them do 1 shots. 3 of them 2 shots. Ooh, as probes are falling. Looking at the units lost tab, 6 workers go down. 7. We're gonna get 8. And we are the mule. Oh my god. Naxin. Papi, calm down. Was that intentional? I'm not too sure, as the Hellions are going to get cleaned up. A bit of miscontrol here from Nice, targeting down one of his own Adepts. Oh my god, does focus it down. Hellion slips into the main base, gets a full scout, confirms the Stargate, confirms the Robo, and gets eyes on the Bay as well. Naxin has seen everything he needs to see as the dust does settle, as this Hellion gets cleaned up. 8 probes for 4 Hellions. It's okay. I think we would have liked a little bit more. It wasn't just 4 Hellions, though. Remember, we did have a wasted mule, and I don't think that was intentional. Medevac gets hunted down, will not escape, will be chased by those Phoenixes. Shout out to the Sparkling Tuna, of course. Quack. Love to see it. What sound does a tuna make? Quack. As the Phoenixes make their way across the map, heading in towards that main base, disrupting the economy, disrupting the production. Where are the turrets? They're not here. Cyclones are a little bit out of position, but they will shoo away these Phoenixes. As the Hellion finally goes down. Nice not being as greedy as he could have been. He does delay his third base for a moment while he, you know, gets into Colossus production. Oh, is supply blocked as well. As the Phoenixes are going to be rotating on over. And just keeping tabs on the army. We have a observer, of course, in position to spot any kind of move out. As Naxin works towards his pocket base as well. As Phoenixes do back off. Getting a couple of SCVs and oh, we're committing! +1 air attack is on the way. Oh, second Stargate as well. No fleet beacon, thankfully. We're not going full sky toss, but with this second Stargate, we can get into additional Phoenix production. We can mass them up. Nice, does end up losing one, but again, he's containing Naxin here to his 2 bases. Way in. Oh, the pieces are gonna be, yeah, getting quite a number more SCVs here in the natural. 9 workers go down. Even though the Hellions did well for themselves earlier, the Phoenixes, they more than made up for it, and we are just amassing more Phoenixes back at home. Colossus production has commenced. It's a really interesting composition. It's basically just like pure Colossus Phoenix. Nothing really on the ground to support. But we can focus down the Marines. Nice, bullying the army. But Naxin still has a pretty large force, and here we go. This is basically a 2-base all-in. There is no third TC. He was attempting to expand earlier, but he was denied. And we are pulling the boys. It's all or nothing for Naxin. Has he upgraded? Okay, he does have Interference Matrix. It has been upgraded. He has it on that Raven. As he moves out with everything he has. With all he's got, the Raven, no! The Raven goes down. No disables available. Ay, ay, ay. That's pretty huge. That was the win condition here for Naxin. Like, he could have pushed in, disabled both Colossus, and then what would have been left? But alas. Nice, he's throwing down a wall of shield batteries. He's getting ready here at the natural. Slowing down this push. Vikings are on the way. It's all or nothing for our Terran player. Can he pull this off? Again, maybe if he had that Raven. Here we go. He's going to be pushing on forward, getting a lot of these Phoenixes, but the overcharge is popped. The Colossus are going ham. Looks like one Colossus goes down. Oh, can we get the second? Up! We cannot. The overcharge is too good. Another Colossus pops, and nice. Will barely hold. This was a close defense. You could see how low that Colossus got. A Terran player almost got it. But alas, everything goes down. GG gets called, and nice. Takes game number 1. Oh, GG. A strong start here for Nice. But was a close one as well. Again, like you saw how close it was for that Colossus to go down, for how close it actually survived. On top of that, again, imagine if we had that Raven, imagine if we had disables available, we would have had a very different engagement. I'm not saying that our Terran player would have won the game, I'm not saying that, but it would have been closer, and it would have been a tighter hold for Nice. Regardless, GG, well played. Nice will take a lead in this finals, but it's a best of 5, so we have more games ahead of us. Ooh. And game number 2 is going to be taking place on Alcyon. Here we go. Alcyon is coming up next. See in the chat. Foragin in the chat. We can fill the blanks if you know what I mean. Gachi hyper. What do you mean? I'm not shooting blanks, Papi. They're hitting their target. What are you talking about? So getting into our game and spawning in the top right hand corner of Alcyon, we have, oh sorry, Alcyone. I keep saying Alcyon. Alcyone. We have the Taiwanese Protoss. Taiwanese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 1-0. It is Nice. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Taiwanese Terran player representing Mystery Gaming down in this series, but not out. It is Naxin. Wicked. As we are getting into our game, once again, a Rex Expand setup here from our Terran. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Oh, hello. I was not expecting you here. We have the tuna in the center. Does that mean we have the tuna here on the right-hand side? Okay. They're touching tips, basically. They're right next to each other. Do we have a third? No. Okay, just two. Just two tunas. As we do have our Protoss player just being as annoying as possible with this probe, just tasing away at these working SCVs. Just being a nuisance. But regardless, Naxin is just setting up here for his expansion, or his opener. Likewise, back at home, do have our Gate Cyber Expand from Nice as well. So, nothing too crazy, no proxies, no cheese, not yet. CC is thrown down again, and Nice being as annoying as possible, tasing away at that SCV, forces a second SCV off the mineral line. But again, nothing too major. Catching up in the chat. This is the delayed finals? Yes. As we mentioned before, the finals were to be taking place on Sunday, but we did have to delay the finals, and we're able to feature them here. Now that we have wrapped up with ESL Open Cup Americas, we have our finals. So do have the Reaper getting across the map. Again, looking to try to get some scanning information. Nice, following it up with a Sentry. Very safe opener here from our Protoss. With this Sentry, we can not just defend, but also get some scanning information with that hallucination. Reaper dips into the main. Ooh, is going to get pushed away by that Sentry. And our tech of choice is going to be a Twilight Council. So Nice, mixing things up. In game one, we saw Nice come out and whip out Phoenix Colossus. Here, with this Twilight Council opener, this should be for Blink. It should be for Blink, but it's Nice we're talking about it. And before I can even talk about Blink, the CC is going to be delayed. Oof. SCV going to get forced off that CC. Not the biggest of deals, but a delay nonetheless. As Reaper is going to dive in, does get eyes on two gateways here on the low ground. As he tries to get into the main base, there is a Stalker in position, and the Scout will be denied. The Reaper goes down. Does not get eyes on the Twilight Council, and it's going to be a 3-gate Blink opener here from our Protoss, from Nice. Meanwhile, the hallucination across the map gets a full Scout, gets confirmation of the 111. Does confirm that this time the starport is at home. And Nice should be feeling pretty comfortable. Does take control of the Zelnaga. Is going to overextend though. Does run into the Cyclone and will lose the Sentry. All good in the hood, mate. As we do manage to hunt down one of those deaths with the Stalkers, they keep on pushing. Nice, keeping the pressure on. Again, with a 3-gate opener, you do have enough for map control. You can pick off a couple of units here and there, but again, Nice is expanding behind this. Not the most committed of openers from Nice. Oh, as the bunker is not done, Naxin cutting some corners, being a little bit lax here, is being punished for it. Without a bunker, Marines are falling left and right. This is snowballing a little bit out of control. Liberator does arrive. That will help, but this is too much damage. Sim nowhere near being done. Naxin is being picked apart. Ah. Does pick off a Stalker, but again, just a bit much. Meanwhile, across that, we have a Cyclone drop. Interesting. As we do force a recall back home. A Cyclone at least, you know, gives our Terran players some breathing room, but God, so much damage was done already. Looking at the unit loss tab, 10 Marines. 10 Marines went down, and a bunker as well to those Stalkers. Hello. Hello. One shot away. Medevac goes down. Overcharge. Well, the shield battery will keep the Stalker alive, and the Cyclone will fall as well. And again, it just has been a rough start for Naxin. Like, his economy hasn't really been hindered too much. Like, he hasn't lost SCVs, sure, you could say that. But he has been losing Marines, and that means his eventual stim timing is going to be that much more delayed, or not even delayed, but it's going to be that much weaker. Naxin has already lost so much firepower. He's lost 11 Marines, and he only has 8. As Nice is looking for another way in, he does have high ground vision. He can blink into the main if he so chooses, but there are units in position, and Nice is going to respect that. He's just containing his opponent. He isn't forcing the issue. He isn't overextending. Back at home, working towards eventually Colossi. We have our safety immortal, shield battery. The robotics bay is on the way, and once it finishes up, we can get into Colossus production. Nice is looking pretty comfortable back at home. He's up in workers, up in bases. Looking to be in the driver's seat. And the question becomes, what does Naxin go for from here? He does have a mine drop on the way. It's a pretty committed mine drop, actually. So the armory is going to finish up just for this drop. I mean, not just for the drop. I mean, for +2, I guess, but +1 is still on the way. Oh, no! Oh, no, as the drop gets caught out. Stalkers are active on the map. These minerals, they have been mined out, and Naxin does not make his way into the main. We got the armory just for this. Again, it's not like we can start +2 anytime soon. The armory was for this drop, and the Widow Mines are stuck out on the map. Naxin gonna be pushing through the center. We have +1, we have stim, we have combat shields. Pretty beefy army. Oh. As we attempt to push up the ramp into the Colossus. Oh my god, big mine shots. The Zealots get annihilated, but we have more where that came from. We have the Immortals at Colossus. Even though we had a good start to the fight, Naxin will still lose his entire army. As everything's going to be going down. A bit of a miss rally as well. Now, the Stalkers were pulled back, which means the drop can come in, which is nice and all, but can we stop this push? That's the question. Can we stop this massive counterattack from Nice? As the mine drop will kill workers, but Naxin will also die. The boys, they have to be pulled into Colossus. You hate to see it. The Colossus going ham on these SCVs. Every single worker goes down. GG gets called, and Nice will take a 2-0 lead here in the grand finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Nice. Having a much more solid game 2. Game 1 was a lot more back and forth. There was a lot more potential in the push of Naxin in game 1. Here in game 2, though, Naxin, he was kind of bleeding and hurting from the get-go, from the beginning, by losing just so much to the aggression of Nice. He was kind of, again, crippled before he could really stand up and really get going. So it was a rough start for Naxin, and now we're getting into game 3, and at this point, Naxin is up against the wall. He's up against the wall. Things are not looking good. He is down 0-2. One more loss, and that will be the end of this series and the end of the tournament. He needs to bring it back here and now. As our next game is going to be played out on Hecate. Let's go. Is it Hecate or Hecate? Hecate. Yeah. Greek goddess. Now after this cast, I'm gonna Google all these maps and I'm gonna listen to Google tell me how to pronounce it. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate. We have, oh my god, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. Not sure as to what they're saying. Maybe some translations in the chat, if possible. We have our Taiwanese Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is nice. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the Taiwanese Terran player representing Mystery Gaming. Down in the series, he needs your support. He needs to come back here and now. It is Naxin. Naxin? It's nice. He's just getting into his opener, getting into, of course, Hecate. This is one of the more macro-oriented maps, quite large, a lot of bases to be taken, a lot of open spaces here in the center of the map as well, alongside the tuna. So love to see it. Yeah, very wide open, much more of a standardized map compared to some of these others with stranger features. I mean, I say that, but some of the interesting things about Hecate is this half gold base. We do have some gold mineral patches sprinkled in amongst the regular ones, so these center bases are a little bit more lucrative, but they are very exposed. They're on the low ground, so you can be attacked from the high ground, even from behind, from the left, from right, from up, from down, so it can be difficult to hold on to these base locations. Over the past couple of days, we've been casting a lot on this map, and we have seen Zerg, Protoss, and Terran alike attempt to take this base, but very rarely can they actually take advantage of it. Very rarely can they hold on to this base, as it is very easy to scout, or very easy to come across. Outside of that, in general, a fifth base is difficult to hold on to, not just a center base, but also as we spread ourselves a little bit too thin, it can be difficult to hold on to these bases as we head into the late game. Outside of the late game, though, like 4 bases are pretty solid. Pretty solid overall. Oh, here we go, as Naxin is going to be going for a double gas opener. Double gas opener here from our Terran player. Delayed CC going for a faster factory. We have a Cyclone on the way. Hello, Naxin. Papi, what do you have in store for us? What's going on? Hi. As the first up does make it across the map, and oh, we're going to be getting a big delay here on the CC. Reaper is across the map, not back at home. And Naxin is stuck on one base. Not the best start. Cyclone does arrive, is going to be able to defend the natural. We can get progression on that once again. Reaper sips into the main base, does confirm the Stargate, does confirm the first unit. It's going to be an Oracle first, not a Phoenix. As we're getting a couple of probes. 2 workers already go down. Can we get a third? 3 probes. Pretty good damage. Very nicely done here by Naxin. It's pronounced heck auntie. You're an animal. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Hecate. Yeah. As mate, this Reaper's going ham. 5 worker kills already. Oh my god. As the Oracle slips into the main base, it was spotted ahead of time. Was able to get a couple of workers before being forced out of the main. Behind this, Nice throwing down additional gateways, finally working towards Phoenixes. Interesting here that Nice did go for a second Oracle as well, so we'll have that much more firepower available to head into that main. As Naxin is setting up with a 2-1-1. Or has a 2-1-1 setup here with his 2 Raxes. Should be working a 3rd Rax momentarily. See in the chats. Nice asked, did anyone play on this map already? Ah, okay. fair enough. as Naxin gets across the map with his drop, but alas, with the shield battery, with the Phoenixes, we can just shut this down. Naxin not able to achieve too much. We do shut down the Cyclone as well. No, the medevac! The medevac goes down, a big loss for our Terran. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracles are going ham. They're camping the production. They pick up the Cyclone and the Marines, and that's going to be it. GG gets called as Nice snowballs out of control, and he will be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Congratulations to Nice, looking powerful here in these finals. Again, game 1 was close, game 1 was back and forth, but maybe Nice just needed a bit of a warm-up, because in game 2 and game 3 he was looking far more dominant, and Naxin was making a couple too many mistakes here and there, a couple of slip-ups here and there, where Nice was able to capitalize on those mistakes, and yeah, snowball out of control. GG. Congratulations to Nice for becoming our champion this week, and yeah, is gonna be our tuna, our lovely sparkling tuna. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations, and a shout out to Naxin, because he is not a regular. We cast a lot of Naxin on our channel, but by a lot I mean, you know, like when it comes to the qualifiers and some other regional events, we do cast him, but he's more of a rarity in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. So it was really cool to see him compete and make a deep run, make it all the way to the finals. Really impressive stuff here out of Naxin. I am very impressed with what he was able to bring to what he was able to achieve here in this tournament. GG, well played. Well played. Alas, Nice is still the top player of the region and is still the one to beat. I would say arguably, is Nice the best Pro Tours player in ESL Asia? Not quite. I do think that Firefly is probably vying for that spot. I do think there are some of the Chinese Pro Tours players that are quite strong. Firefly, Jeshi, even Cyan. I think they're pretty comparable to Nice. So there is a lot of competition when it comes to the Pro Tours players, but Nice is still up there nonetheless. And yeah, GG, well played. Congratulations to Nice, and that does conclude this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup. Again, a little bit disjointed because we had the main event over the weekend and we had to do a replay cast later on here. This is a replay cast, but regardless, a strong showing nonetheless from Nice, and I'm glad we were able to at least have a solution to the issue that we had where our players couldn't play it out. The worst case scenario would have been, you know, a forfeit and we wouldn't have had our games. So thankfully we had a solution. We came up with an answer, and GG, well played. Oh. And with that, we are almost done with our broadcast today. Almost done. We've wrapped up ESL Americas, we wrapped up the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but we have one more game to cast. Last night, during OSC King of the Hill, we did have a replay redemption. I wasn't able to cast after OSC King of the Hill because we finished casting at like 2 a.m. almost borderline 3 a.m. in the morning. We casted very late last night, and I need to sleep. I needed to get some rest, so I was unable to cover this replay, but now we can, and I do need to prepare for it. Again, if you want to support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, if you enjoyed it, ! Matcherino. We have a Matcherino in the chat. We have a Patreon as well. Our Patreon is set up to fund our tournaments. You can see it just under Naxin's name there. Our goal is 300. We do currently spend 300 USD a month on our events, and Patreon does help alleviate those costs. Our goal is to have our events fully funded by Patreon and to grow our tournament from there, to boost our prize pool, to boost the regularity of our events, to make them weeklies instead of bi-weeklies. Again, we have goals for our tournaments, and yeah, we're getting some support. We would love some more. That's available to you if you are interested over on Patreon. You gain replay packs, and you also get shout outs, of course, via the scrolling kind of text credits at the end of the stream, or even the start of the stream as well. So yeah, that's available if you are interested. Otherwise, we are setting up for another cast.